Osamu Tezuka 3 November 1928 to February 9, 1989, was a Japanese cartoonist, animator, film producer, activist, and medical doctor who never practiced medicine. Born in Osaka Prefecture, he is best known as the creator of the comic series Astro Boy, Kimba the White Lion, and Black Jack. His prolific output, pioneering techniques, and innovative redefinitions of genres earned him such titles as the father of manga, the god of comics, and kamisama of manga. Additionally, he is often credited as the Godfather of Anime, and is considered the Japanese equivalent to Walt Disney, who served as a major inspiration during Tezuka's formative years. Early life: Osamu Tezuka was born the eldest of 3 children in Toyonaka City, Osaka. His nickname was Gaze Gasha Atema. His mother often comforted him by telling him to look to the blue skies, giving him confidence. His mother's stories inspired his creativity as well. Tezuka grew up in Takarazuka City, Hyogo, and his mother often took him to the Takarazuka Theatre. The Takarazuka Revue is performed by women, including the male characters. The Takarazuka Revue is known for its romantic musicals usually aimed at a female audience, thus having a large impact on the later works of Tezuka, including his costuming designs. He has said that he has a profound spirit of nostalgia for Takarazuka. Tezuka started to draw comics around his 2nd year of elementary school. Around his 5th year he found a bug named Osamushi. It so resembled his name that he adopted Osamushi as his pen name. He came to the realization that he could use manga as a means of helping to convince people to care for the world. After World War II, he created his first piece of work, Diary of Ma-chan and then Shin Takarajima, which began the golden age of manga, a craze comparable to American comic books at the time. Works, as an indication of his productivity, comprises some 400 volumes, over 80,000 pages. Even so, it is not comprehensive. His complete oeuvre includes over 700 volumes with more than 150,000 pages. When he was younger, Tezuka's arms swelled up and he became ill. He was treated and cured by a doctor, which made him want to be a doctor. However, he began his career as a manga artist while a university student, drawing his first professional work while at school. At a crossing point, he asked his mother whether he should look into doing manga full-time or whether he should become a doctor. At the time, being a manga author was not a particularly rewarding job. The answer his mother gave was, "You should work doing the thing you like most of all." Tezuka decided to devote himself to manga creation on a full-time basis. He graduated from Osaka University and obtained his medical degree, but he would later use his medical and scientific knowledge to enrich his sci-fi manga, such as Black Jack. Tezuka's creations include Astro Boy, Black Jack, Princess Knight, Phoenix, Kimba the White Lion, Unico, Message to Adolf and Buddha. His life's work was Phoenix, a story of life and death that he began in the 1950s and continued until his death. In January 1965, Tezuka received a letter from American film director Stanley Kubrick, who had watched Astro Boy and wanted to invite Tezuka to be the art director of his next movie, 2001, A Space Odyssey. Tezuka could not afford to leave his studio for a year to live in England, so he refused. Although he could not work on it, he loved the film, and would play its soundtrack at maximum volume in his studio to keep him awake during long nights of work. Many young manga artists once lived in the apartment where Tezuka lived, Tokawaza. The residents included Shotaro Ishinomori, Fuyo Akatsuka, and Abiko Moto and Hiroshi Fujimoto. Death and legacy: Tezuka died of stomach cancer on February 9, 1989 in Tokyo, coming about 1 month after the death of Hirohito, who had been the Showa Emperor of Japan, including during World War II. His last words were, "I'm begging you, let me work." The city of Takarazuka, Hyogo, where Tezuka grew up, opened a museum in his memory. Stamps were issued in his honor in 1997. Also, beginning in 2003, the Japanese toy company Kaido began manufacturing a series of figurines of Tezuka's creations, including Princess Knight, Unico, a Phoenix, Doro, Marvelous Melmo, Ambassador Magma and many others. To date 3 series of the figurines have been released. Tezuka's legacy has continued to be honored among manga artists and animators. Artists such as Hayao Miyazaki and Akira Toriyama have cited Tezuka as inspiration for their works. From 2003 to 2009, Naoki Urasawa and Takashi Nagasaki adapted an arc of Astro Boy into the murder mystery series Pluto. Tezuka was a personal friend of Brazilian comic book artist Mauricio de Souza. In 2012, Mauricio published a 2-issue story arc in the Monica teen comic book featuring some of Tezuka's main characters, such as Astro Boy, Blackjack, Sapphire, and Kimba. Joining Monica and her friends in an adventure in the Amazon rainforest against a smuggling organization chopping down hundreds of trees in the jungles of the Amazon. This was the first time that Tezuka Productions has allowed overseas animators to use Tezuka's characters. Style: Tezuka is known for his imaginative stories and stylized Japanese adaptations of Western literature with reading novels and watching films that came from the West. His early works included manga versions of Disney movies such as Bambi. Tezuka cinematic page layouts, influenced by Milk Gross' early graphic novel He Done Her Wrong, which he read as child, became a common characteristic for many manga artists who followed in Tezuka's footsteps. His work, like that of other manga creators, was sometimes gritty and violent. Tezuka headed the animation production studio Mushi Production, which pioneered TV animation in Japan. The distinctive large eyes style of Japanese animation was invented by Tezuka, drawing inspirations on Western cartoons and animated films of the time such as Betty Boop, Mickey Mouse and many Disney movies. Awards: 1957 Shogakukan Manga Award for Manga Seminar on Biology and Byaiko-chan, 1975 Bunja Shunja Manga Award, 1975 Japan Cartoonists Association Award, a Euro Special Award, 1977 Kodansha Manga Award for Blackjack and the Three-Eyed One, 1980 Inkpot Award, San Diego Comic-Con, 1983 Shogakukan Manga Award for Hidamari no Ki, 1984 Amethist Zagreb Grand Prize for Jumping, 1985 Hiroshima International Animation Festival for Onbora Film, 1986 Kodansha Manga Award for Message to Adolf, 1989 Nihon SF Teshu Award, Special Award, 1989 Order of the Sacred Treasure, 3rd Class, 2004 Eisner Award for Buddha, 2005 Eisner Award for Buddha, 2009 Eisner Award for Doro, 2014 Eisner Award for The Mysterious Underground Men, Selected Manga and Anime. For a more complete list, see List of Osamu Tezuka Manga and List of Osamu Tezuka Anime. Metropolis, 1949. One of Tezuka's early science fiction works, about a private detective, Higeo Yaji, who tries to take care of Michi, a gender-switching robot, after its creator is killed. It would be made into a 2001 animated film. The 2001 film was heavily influenced by the Fritz Lang film Metropolis, as well as Tezuka's manga. Jungle Emperor, 1950 Euro 54. Better known by these other names in the English-speaking world as Kimba the White Lion, this manga established one of Tezuka's most iconic creations. His first full-scale long serial, Jungle Taitei, follows the adventures of Leo the White Lion as he seeks to succeed his father, killed by a hunter, as king of the jungle. In 1965, Tezuka's Mushi Productions, financed by NBC Enterprises, produced a 52-episode anime series loosely based on the manga. The series was the first anime produced in color. This was followed immediately by a 26-episode sequel, produced by Mushi Productions alone. This sequel was dubbed into English in 1984 under the title Leo the Lion. A full-length animated film based on the last half of Tezuka's original manga was released theatrically in 1997 under the title Jungle Emperor Leo. A new 30-minute short was shown on Fuji TV on September 5, 2009. It was directed by Goro Taniguchi, creator of Code Geass and Planets. Mighty Atom, 1952 Euro 68. A sequel to Captain Atom, with Atom renamed Astro Boy in the US as its main character. Eventually, Astro Boy would become Tezuka's most famous creation. He created the nuclear-powered, yet peace-loving, boy robot first after being punched in the face by a drunken GI. In 1963, Astro Boy made its debut as the first domestically produced animated program on Japanese television. The 30-minute weekly program led to the first craze for anime in Japan. In America, the TV series was also a hit, becoming the first Japanese animation to be shown on U.S. television, although the U.S. producers downplayed and disguised the show's Japanese origins. Several other Astro Boy series have been made since, as well as a 2009 CGI animated feature film Astro Boy. Princess Knight, 1953 Euro 56. A gender-bending adventure drama about Princess Sapphire, a girl who must pretend to be a boy Euro, and whose body, in fact, has two human souls. A boy's and a girl's. The manga was inspired by the themes and styles of musicals by the all-girl Takarazuka Revue, which Tezuka had watched in his youth. Rival no Kishi itself established many of the themes and styles of later shoujo manga, such as its affinity for androgynous heroes, and is sometimes referred to as the mother of all shoujo manga. It was made into an anime TV series in 1967, and the anime has been dubbed into English and sporadically broadcast on TV in the United States and other English-speaking countries. Also known in English as Choppy and the Princess. The quality of the show's art is still impressive, even today. In spite of the series' obscurity in the United States due to legal and distribution problems, the series has turned out to be one of Tezuka's most popular creations practically everywhere else. It's known in Spanish-speaking countries as La Princesa Caballero, in Germany as Choppy und die Prinzessin, in Italy as La Principessa Zaffiro, in Portugal and Brazil as Princesa e o Cavaleiro, in France as Prince Zafir, and in Poland under no less than 5 different titles, including Choppy X an unregistered trademark Angstrom 1/4 Nijkska. A new musical version of Princess Knight was performed in August 2006 starring the members of the all-female pop group Morning Musume. An excerpt from the manga was published in the June 19, 2007 issue of Shoujo Beat from Viz Media. The entire manga had previously been released in bilingual volumes from Kodansha Bilingual Comics. As of 2011, Vertical acquired the rights to Princess Knight for the North American market. Hi no Tori, 1956 Euro 89. Tezuka's most profound and ambitious work, dealing with man's quest for immortality, ranging from the distant past to the far future. The central character is the Phoenix, the physical manifestation of the cosmos, who carries within itself the power of immortality. Either granted by the Phoenix or taken from the Phoenix by drinking a small amount of its blood. Other characters appear and reappear throughout the series, usually due to their reincarnation. The work remained unfinished at the time of Tezuka's death in 1989. Phoenix has been filmed several times, most notably as Phoenix 2772. Baku Yumamakura was influenced by Phoenix. Baku Yumamakura would go on to write the script for Boku no Son Goku. Twin Knight, 1958. Twin Knight was a sequel to Princess Knight, and takes place several years after the end of the original series. In Twin Knight, Princess Sapphire is now Queen Sapphire and is married to France, her love interest in the original series. The main characters in Twin Knight are the twin children of Sapphire and France, Prince Daisy and Princess Violetta. In keeping with the theme of the original series, following Prince Daisy's kidnapping, Princess Violetta must pretend to be both of them, all the while trying to discover the whereabouts of her brother. Although Twin Knight was originally published under the same Rival no Kishi title during its short run, the title was changed in 1960 when the series was collected into a single volume. Ever since then it has been regarded as a separate series. No television version has ever been produced. Cleopatra, Queen of Sex, 1970. The movie told the story of Cleopatra and her numerous romantic encounters with Julius Caesar and the other men in her life. When the film was released in the United States, American distributors released it under the title Cleopatra, Queen of Sex with an X rating. Buddha, 1972 Euro 83, is Tezuka's unique interpretation of the life of Gautama Buddha, the founder of Buddhism. The critically acclaimed series is often referred to as a gritty portrayal of the Buddha's life. The series began in September 1972 and ended in December 1983, as one of Tezuka's last epic manga works. Nearly 3 decades after the manga was completed, an anime film adaptation was released in 2011. Blackjack, 1973–83. The story of Blackjack, a talented surgeon who operates illegally, using radical and supernatural techniques to combat rare afflictions. Blackjack received the Japan Cartoonists Association Special Award in 1975 and the Kodansha Manga Award in 1977. 3 Blackjack TV movies were released between 2000–01. In fall 2004, an anime TV series was aired in Japan with 61 episodes, releasing another movie afterward. A new series, titled Blackjack 21, started broadcasting on April 10, 2006. In September 2008, the first volume of the manga had been published in English by Vertical Publishing and more volumes are being published to this day. Museum. The Osamu Tezuka Manga Museum was inaugurated on April 25, 1994, and has 3 floors. In the basement there is an animation workshop in which visitors can make their own animation, and a mock-up of the city of Takarazuka and a replica of the table where Osamu Tezuka worked. On the ground floor on the way before the building's entrance, are imitations of the hands and feet of several characters from Tezuka, and on the inside, the entry hall, a replica of Princess Knight's furniture. On the same floor, is a permanent exhibition of manga and a room for the display of anime. The exhibition is divided into 2 parts, Osamu Tezuka and the city of Takarazuka and Osamu Tezuka, the author. On the first floor are held several exhibitions and are available a manga library, with 500 works of Tezuka, a video library and a lounge with a decor inspired by Kimba the White Lion. There is also a center of glass that represents the planet Earth and is based on a book written by him in his childhood called Our Earth of Glass. Personal life. Tezuka is a descendant of Hattori Hanzo, a famous ninja and samurai who faithfully served Tokugawa Ieyasu during the Sengoku period in Japan. His son Makoto Tezuka, would later become a film and anime director. Tezuka gave guidance to many well-known manga artists, such as Shotaro Ishinomori and Go Nagai. Tezuka enjoyed bug collecting, entomology, Walt Disney, baseball, and licensed the grown-up version of his character Kimba the White Lion as the logo for the Cebu Lions of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tezuka met Walt Disney in person, who wanted to hire Tezuka. Tezuka was a fan of Superman and was made honorary chairman of the Superman fan club in Japan. Tezuka was an agnostic, but was buried in a Buddhist cemetery in Tokyo. See also: Makoto Tezuka, List of Osamu Tezuka manga, List of Osamu Tezuka anime, Osamu Tezuka's star system, Tezuka Award, Tezuka Osamu Cultural Prize. References. Further reading: Helen McCarthy. The Art of Osamu Tezuka, God of Manga, ISBN 9780810982499. Biography and presentation of Tezuka's works. External links: TezukaOsamu.net official site in Japanese and English, Tezuka in English, Osamu Tezuka at Find a Grave, Osamu Tezuka at the Internet Movie Database, Osamu Tezuka at Anime News Network's Encyclopedia, Osamu Tezuka at anime.com, Tezuka Osamu Manga Museum information page at tezukaosamu.net, the Osamu Tezuka Manga Museum information page on City of Takarazuka Municipal Site, based on Osamu Tezuka movies or mangas, Sikat Universal Video Game List, interview, Osamu Tezuka speaks at Hartford at the Wayback Machine, Osamu Tezuka, a Japanese godfather of modern-day manga.